welcome to another edition of Arizona Living. Today, I'm gonna share with you my list of the 5 things that you're gonna love and hate about Arizona. Stay tuned. I'm originally from New York, New Jersey. I've been in Arizona now about 7 years. So I'm gonna share with you my list of the 5 things you're gonna love and hate about Arizona. Now let's start with the negatives to give the trolls some time to start typing. Number 1, the heat. Sometimes, it's not every day, it's probably about 2, maybe 3 months out of the year, you're talking about triple-digit weather. Up to 120 degrees, believe it or not. Now, when I say Arizona, that's not exactly fair because Arizona is a big state. I'm predominantly talking about the Phoenix Valley. If you drive 2 hours up north to Flagstaff, there's snow there. There's also Prescott, or as the locals call it, Prescott, which is about 20 degrees cooler. So it's not fair for me to say the entire state is 120 degrees because that's not true. So let's go with this next one, dust and dust storms. There's dust here like crazy. That's why car washes do so well here, because people forever washing their cars because their cars get full of dust. And then they have these things called haboobs during the monsoon season. These huge dust storms, kind of like the scene from The Mummy, come at you. This is not an everyday occurrence. This is once in a while, maybe once, maybe twice a year I've seen haboobs. You do not want to be caught outside in a haboob because that's how you could get valley fever. So that's number 1 and number 2. Number 3, the electrical bills in the summertime can be ridiculous. We're talking $300+. Now on a bright note, the electric companies, after you've been in your place for a year, will allow you to cost average during the whole year so you have the same amount every single month, if that makes sense. Number 4, the dull landscape. I know, the trolls are already typing. You knew you were moving to the desert. You know what? I don't care. Let's talk about being a troll. You take the time to type for a half hour. Guess what? I have the power within 2 seconds to hit delete and no one's gonna read your damn comment. So don't waste your time. You can tell I'm from New York, because I don't care. Dull landscape, desert, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's some lakes for the, it's not the beach, but there are some lakes out there, and I like the cacti now. I think they're kind of cool, kind of Dr. Seuss-esque, but it's still pretty overall. It's a dull landscape. It doesn't do anything for me. Next, last on the list, number 5, bugs. People hate bugs, and I'm telling you, if you move to Arizona, you're gonna need to get professional service to treat for bugs every other month if you own a house. If you're in an apartment, the management should be paying to have the perimeter of the building sprayed every so often. But bugs are definitely an issue here if you do not choose to get professional service. So that's it, guys. That's my list of the top 5 things you would hate about Arizona if you were to move here. There's other things, there's heavy traffic. You're gonna have that anywhere. But overall, it's not a bad place to live. Ooh. Now I'm gonna go over the 5 things you're absolutely gonna love about living in Arizona. Number 1, there's no snow here. No one here owns a snow shovel. No one here has a huge ass coat. Like I used to have this coat that I bought when I went on a trip to Minnesota. It was -12 when I arrived. I bought this huge monster coat. I got rid of that. That's not necessary here. So that's the first positive. Second, related to the weather, there's hardly any humidity. It's a dry heat. Unlike, say, Florida, where it's humid, it's dry here. So it could be 100 and you're still comfortable. You don't want to be a stunat and go hiking in 120-degree weather. That's different. That's being stupid. You're looking to die. But ordinarily, even if it's 100, it doesn't feel so bad. You're not going to be breaking a sweat. Number 3, the food here in Arizona is great. I'm a huge fan of the food here. That surprised the heck out of me that they had so many different options here. I'm a Yelp elite. Yeah, I know. But listen, the food here is great. In Mexico is right over the border, so you have great Mexican food here too. Number 4, lower cost of housing. You could, as long as you're not in the actual city of Phoenix proper, the further away you drive, the cheaper the houses get. And you can get yourself a really nice house on the cheap. So that's a great thing. Number 5, lower taxes. You're not paying anywhere near what you would pay in taxes in, say, New York, New Jersey. However, there's a downside to that. That's why our public schools here in Arizona suck. So that's it, guys. That's my list of the 5 things you would love and hate if you were to move to Arizona. Please like, subscribe, and let me know below, did I miss anything? Is there anything staring you in the face that you either love or hate that I did not mention about Arizona? Till next time!